Hi there, Tad Hargrave from marketingforhippies.com, and this was a video that came to me a few days ago, and it's about this. I'm not better than anybody, and I think humility is a really key thing in marketing, because as soon as we start thinking we're better than other people, and we start thinking we're higher than them, this is what justifies a lot of the manipulation, because, well, I'm better than them, so then I can make decisions for them because I'm smarter than them. I can guide them towards the right decision. I just think this whole superiority gig is dangerous. The self-importance racket is something that we probably want to keep our eye on in ourselves. I've got a lot of colleagues who I disagree with. I just see the world differently than them politically. In sales and marketing, we don't see it the same way, but that doesn't mean I'm better than them. It just means I've come to a different understanding myself. They're still a worthy human being. They're still worthy of respect. They're still worthy of goodwill. I can disagree with them. I can point it out. I can name it. I can call it out. Share my understanding, generally, and if they ask me personally. But I think what had me want to do this video was I've seen this certain channels out there where there's that are dedicated to calling out manipulative work. And they often start humble, but then there becomes a very strident tone. There's a kind of condescension. I'm thinking of a podcast and an Instagram channel or two. And there can be a bit of a talking down to people. Can you believe it? As if it's not believable. Because for me, it's totally believable that people come to these conclusions. As I did, in my youth. I very much drank that Kool-Aid. So because they've drunk the Kool-Aid, or what I see as the Kool-Aid later in life, it's not okay. It's okay when you're 18, but not when you're older. I'm not better than them. I mean, bless them for being in the world and trying. I'm just going to be over here doing my thing. The people who want to come will come and check it out. The people who resonate with them will go that way. It's really not for me to tell them how to live their lives or what to say, and it's not for me to tell other people how to respond to them. I do think it's good to name it. I just think it's helpful. It's kind to all involved not to imagine that we have no blind spots ourselves as we point out other people's blind spots. As it says in the Bible, you're pointing out the speck in somebody else's eye when you've got a beam in your own eye. And no doubt we all have blind spots. And when we swagger around with its arrogance, like we figured it out, and how the hell have these people not figured it out themselves? If you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I noticed this, around cancel culture, that people will call somebody out. And I've seen it where people then tag everybody they know, direct message everyone they know, just so that they see they're trying to destroy this person's public reputation. I'm not saying that's not needed sometimes. I'm not saying that might not be a thing that has to be done at a certain point. I've often seen it done way before I thought it was necessary. I've seen it done when I think it wasn't necessary, but they make sure that everyone sees it. And there's a kind of bloodlust. The furies appear. And man, the vultures are swarming around the corpse of that canceled person, eating the little shreds of their meager online reputation. The sharks smell blood and they come close. And the person who's doing the calling out feels pretty good about themselves. Look at all this support. But do they not imagine that the second that they're the ones bleeding, that those sharks will turn on them? Do they not realize that? That in fact they've made themselves less safe because they've called the sharks closer. They will get cut at some point, and they will bleed, and all those people who love the taste of blood will enjoy their blood as much of the blood as the blood of the person they publicly slew and threw into the water for them. They will not be as discriminating as you imagine they would be, as many have found out. So, this has been my prayer a lot, especially with everything happening in the world. May it be that we all see more tomorrow than we see today. And may we see more today than we saw yesterday. Just more. Not the right thing, not getting it all solved, not instantly being on the right side of history, but may we see more to the story. Because there's always more to the story. But you're not going to see it if you already think you see it all. If you think you've nailed it, you've got it right. You're the one that finally figured it out and nobody else could. You might see a great deal, and there might be a great deal you still don't see. Because you learned something today, it's very easy to judge the people who still haven't learned that thing and be arrogant and on our high horse. But you just learned it yesterday, Jack. So how about a little bit of grace for the people who are still on the road in their own stages? Again, I'm not saying we shouldn't name bad behavior and point it out, give examples. I do from time to time. And I'm sure the arrogance comes through me too sometimes. And if it does, I hope you'll let me know, because it's not my intention. And I don't think it helps at the end of the day. So here's to us all seeing more than we did before. I hope these videos help you see a little bit more, as I'm sure your work helps your clients see a bit more than they saw before. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the red subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified about future videos. Thanks so much.